الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين. You are welcome to Al-Mustofiyyah's online tafsir for the year 1441 AH, which is equivalent to year 2020. Inshallah, we shall be going on the virtues or lessons of Surah Al-Dukhan in conjunction with Surah Al-Qadr. What are the lessons that we can derive from this so that they can be applicable in every Ramadan that every Muslim witnesses? The surah begins with two letters where Allah says in the glorious Quran,
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم آمين والكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه في ليلة مباركة إنا كنا منذرين.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins with just two letters, the letters that it is only Him that can give the correct exegesis of those two letters.
Amen.
Then if we look at the chronological arrangement of this surah, amongst other surahs that have the same beginning with the same letters, that is Hamim, it is the fifth one. So when you begin to count the surahs that have Hamim, it is the fifth chronologically. Then the theme of the surah talks about worldly pride, power, and position, including knowledge without practice. And Ramadan brings a lot of these so that we can learn about them and we can utilize them judiciously. Then the surah tells us about how human beings will become nothing but dust. Then for human beings who will become dust, what is the essence of trying to brag? What is the essence of trying not to utilize and practicalize what one must have had or must have read or must have learned? Allah says Hamim.
Amen.
These two letters can be well described and expatiated on or upon by Almighty Allah.
آمين والكتاب المبين.
Wal-Kitab al-Mubin. This tells us that the exact book we're talking about, the revealed, divinely revealed book, Al-Quran, is a book that is very clearing with its meaning, with its exegesis and explanations. Inna anzalnahu
في ليلة مباركة إنا كنا منذرين.
Inna anzalnahu fi laylatin mubarakatin inna kunna mundhirin. Certainly, we, Allah, as usual, some who don't understand Islam, those who don't understand the religion itself, will say, why will your Lord say Inna when He claims to be one? This is pronoun of majesty. Allah makes this to make Himself mightiest to all that He has created, so that we know there is none like Him. Therefore He says, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatin mubarakatin inna kunna
munzirin.
This glorious Quran we are talking about, that it was revealed by Him to Prophet Muhammad through the messengership of Angel Jibril min as-sama'i aw min lawhil mahfuz, from the heavens there ila as-sama'i dunya, to the world which we are in. This book we are talking about, it's a book that is being given the benediction. It's a book that Allah has made to be so special. Mubarakah is a benedicted book. Inna kunna munzirin. One of the reasons why the glorious Quran has been revealed is to the fact that it is going to serve as a warning to all human race and including the jinns, so that when the warnings are given, there shall be no excuse for not yielding to the warnings that have been given.
فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم.
فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم. In the same way, in the month of Ramadan, that's lesson number 1. In the same month of Ramadan, Allah decrees. Allah changes the destinies of what He has created within this Ramadan. فيها يفرق كل
فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم.
Every matter is being changed. For those who are very, very unfortunate, when they beg Allah, they ask Allah, they beseech Allah to change the condition in which they find themselves. It is in this month of Ramadan that Allah will change it. Not only in Ramadan, but in the nights of Lailatul Qadr. And one thing that is very spectacular here is that the night of Lailatul Qadr is not specific. It has to be searched for within the last 10 of every Ramadan. Within this last 10, a particular night there, known as Lailatul Qadr, is a night in which the destiny shall be changed and Allah shall improve the destiny of others. Some who refuse, their destinies may remain the same without being changed. The hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as reported by Aisha radiallahu anha,
عن عائشة رضي الله عنها أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال تهروا ليلة القدر في الوتر من عشر الأواخر.
Aisha, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah be pleased with her, said,
تهروا ليلة القدر.
You should begin to search for Lailatul Qadr, the night of majesty,
في
the night
الوتر
of power. You should begin to search for it only in the last 10 of every Ramadan. It
في
means
الوتر من
when you want to
العشر
search
الأواخر
for the
من
last 10
رمضان.
also, it has to be within the odd numbers of the last 10. And when we say odd, it means 21, 23rd, 25th, 27th, and 29th.
من رمضان.
Only in the month of Ramadan. So this spells out the virtue. This spells out one of the virtues, one of the significances, one of the importance of Laylatul Qadr, meaning the last odd 10, like we have said.
فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم أمرا من عندنا إنا كنا مرسلين.
Amran min indina. This is a matter that is decreed, that is designed
من عندنا.
only from Almighty Allah. He is the one that is in charge. Our own duty is to be on our feet, is to be on sitting position, is to read, recite Quran and beg Allah, do some adhkar, then inna kunna
مرسلين.
certainly we are the one to direct the messengers on what to do concerning this particular matter.
رحمة من ربك
إنه
إنه هو السميع
Rahmatan min Rabb, this is a
العليم.
mercy only from Allah. Innahu was Sami'ul Alim. Allah is all hearing and the all knowing. Yeah, Laylatul Qadr.
يا ليلة وأبى الفتى وقاهمها غفرانه ألف شهر لا يساويها غفرانه ألف شهر لا يساويها قد خص الله بالقرآن تذكرة في سعادة في أسمى معانيها في سعادة في أسمى معانيها.